Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the United Planning Organization's Frederick Douglass Early Learning Center. I'm Dana Jones, and I serve as the President and CEO of the United Planning Organization. We are honored today to have you here, and I pray that you've had the opportunity to visit the classrooms to see the wonderful things that are taking place. Here, Natasha Terry and her team provide some of the best examples of early learning that you're going to find anywhere in the country, and we're just honored to be a part of the District of Columbia and be a part of something exciting that we're going to learn more about today, because we have our Honorable Mayor with us today, and we are just elated that the district will continue to be a national leader and setting the trend on how we engage our young people, how we look at neurological science and look at cognitive development strategies, such that we continue to keep pace and really become an international trendsetter in the development of young minds. And so we're honored that she is here today and that we will learn more about that. So once again, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing in this opportunity to continue to move the District of Columbia forward.
Thank you, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good morning, everybody. Delighted to be here with you this morning to talk about something that I know is extremely important to all of us, and that's how we provide quality learning opportunities for young people. And I emphasize quality and opportunities in that statement. So it's always good to be with the United Planning Organization, and we're looking forward to hearing about the great things that happen here at the Frederick Douglass Early Learning Center. I also want to recognize that we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Head Start, which is a wonderful milestone in America. 50 years ago, a very significant commitment was made to focusing on young people and recognizing that the earlier we get to the child, the better for learning experiences that follow. I'm also pleased to be here with my education team, and you know the Deputy Mayor for Education, Jennie Niles. Give her a big round of applause. Come on in, everybody. And let me introduce to some our new State Superintendent for Education, Hanseul Kang. Let's welcome Hanseul. This is her first day, so welcome. And I also want to acknowledge Elizabeth Roginski, who is the Assistant Superintendent for Early Learning at OSSI. Give Elizabeth a round of applause. And is Brenda Donald here, Deputy Mayor? And I want to recognize Brenda for all of her help and support in this effort as well. And I want to thank the parents here at Frederick Douglass. Is Tanja Nakia, is she here? Fairley, Miss Fairley? There she is. And Bridget Hall. Where's Bridget? Hi, Bridget. Thank you for your help. And so each person here is focused on the same goal of ensuring our young people receive a top-notch education. And we all know what the stats say, that the earlier learning begins, the more successful our young people will be as they go through life. Next month, I think you all know, is the month of the young child. And OSSI is sponsoring both a Read Across DC event on April 2nd and our second annual Infant Toddler Conference. This sounds like a lot of fun, right, Carrie? April 28th through the 30th. And the theme this year is going to be Growing Young Minds, Nurturing Healthy, Happy, and Secure Children. So I know that we're going to get the word out far and wide, and I know that you'll be active participants. And so we're building on the efforts a lot of people have made in D.C. for a long time. And I spent the last probably about 24 months with people making sure that I will build on those efforts for young people. And so today we're announcing the Quality Improvement Network. And that is a neighborhood-based hub network, and it is groundbreaking in that it is improving outcomes for infants and toddlers and their families by building the supply of high-quality, comprehensive early childhood development services in our communities. So improving outcomes for young people means that they are ready for school, and way down the line in their 17 or 18-year-olds, they'll be ready for the workforce. So making investments in early childhood education will help pave the way for these children to make their way to the middle class in the District of Columbia. Today, we're talking about a 5-year federal grant with $1.8 million in annual local funding, which will ensure more children and families benefit from early, continuous, intensive, and comprehensive child care. So through a competitive process, we identified 3 agencies with a long history of providing high-quality, inclusive early learning support services across D.C. And today, I would like to acknowledge them as our neighborhood-based hubs. First, let me recognize Muriel Peralta, who's right here, and she's the president and CEO of Centronia. Give them a round of applause. You heard from Dana Jones already, the president and CEO of the United Planning Organization. Give him another round of applause. Haven't seen Maria, but I see the staff of Mary's Center. Give them a round of applause. So these hubs, these organizations with proven track records in collaboration with the Office of the State Superintendent and the district's Department of Human Services and the district's Department of Behavioral Health and the district's Department of Child and Family Services, along with our Healthcare Finance Department, will support child development centers and homes across D.C. in achieving the early start quality that we expect. It is a true public-private partnership focusing on improving these outcomes. And so we are very much committed to making sure that this network, this hub is successful, and that the children and families who participate in it have every advantage as they get ready for school. So now let me invite the Deputy Mayor to come up to say a few words to be followed by OSSI staff.
Well, it's a treat to be here. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and to be at this wonderful site and to be announcing such a critical part of our early childhood is focusing on the quality and having 3 organizations of such stature in our community work with different both home-based and community-based organizations. I want to take a minute to acknowledge Councilmember Allen. I'm so glad that he's here, and somebody who cares passionately about our littlest little, as well as our early childhood, sometimes I call them, and certainly our new superintendent and our assistant superintendent. It's wonderful today. The mayor's focus on quality is articulated in many different ways, but this really is a great way to start in the first 100 days to make sure that it is clear that the earliest part of our education program has quality baked in. And so this network, I also think, is a particularly innovative way for us to ensure that all the community-based and home-based 0 through 3 programs have build on as much quality as possible and look to our experts who are in the community. The second thing I really want to focus on is the fact of how cross-agency it is. The mayor charged me with making sure that we are optimizing our city resources and we're working in a collaborative way as much as possible to make sure that each one of our kids has what they need to be successful right from the start. And without further ado, I want to introduce Elizabeth Grogensky. We're very pleased to have Elizabeth. She joined us last fall from Denver and is an early childhood expert and is somebody who we are immediately feeling the effects of her focus on quality. And so, Elizabeth, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Deputy Mayor Niles and Dana, for this wonderful opportunity. And a welcome to our Superintendent, Hanseul Kang. I have just been and continually impressed since I started here in the district with the commitment and the investment in early care and education. I'm really thrilled to be here with all of you to launch this network and to bring early Head Start standards to all of our homes and centers across the district. As the mayor said, this is the beginning of a 5-year effort, something we hope to continue till all care in the district is at this standard. And the reason we chose early Head Start standards is because federally funded evaluations have shown the results. Children's cognitive and language development is improved and increased. Families have reduced parental stress. They have more positive parent-child relationships and higher levels of employment and the pursuit of their own education. So this is a family-centered approach to early education. We are going to be able to serve at our initial year 14 child development centers through the hubs and 12 child development homes, reaching more than 400 low-income children and families in the district in all wards except for Ward 3. But we do have all the other wards covered, and it's an amazing opportunity of a very diverse group of centers and homes. Children and families will benefit because they will receive access to nurturing and responsive care that meets their needs, and families will receive family engagement support for their needs and their educational needs, a real two-generation approach and solution. We will continue to leverage all available local and federal funding to make sure that we are maximizing the investments the district is making across the departments. And we are really well positioned to lead this effort at OSSI because we have the support of our sister agencies and we have the support of the leadership in the mayor's office and across the district. So with that, I would love to bring up one of the 14 child care partners, Ms. Bridget Hall, to share why she chose to engage in this effort and what she hopes to gain. Thank you.
Thank you again. I'm Bridget Hall. I'm the Executive Director of Big Mama's Children's Center. We are very, very happy and pleased to be chosen as a partner for this initiative. We've been in existence for over 32 years. We service the children in the Ward 8 community and surrounding areas. It's named Big Mama's Children's Center after my grandmother. My mother named it after her mother, who took care of many, many children, come from a very large family. She's the mother of 13 and grandmother of many. We grew up directly across the street from this location. So when I pulled up, it felt like I was home this morning. So, and my grandmother, she did it by herself, whereas we do ratios of children. And I mean, it was at least 20 of us in a house at a given time. She fed us breakfast and lunch, and she would put us down for naps. She would wash our shoelaces, clean our shoes, wake us up, comb our hair, get us dressed, and send us back out to play again. I mean, but she did it with one person, whereas we question our ratio sometimes. But so that gave me a love for children and a love for more, just not children, just families. And so when this initiative was introduced, I was very excited to be able to offer the families more support, and the overall addressing the family as well as the whole child is a very exciting thing, and especially with it being introduced for the infants and toddlers, for us to be able to service and them more and being able to help with laying a good foundation for their future. So I'm very excited about it, and I thank you. And now, Ms. Fairley, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So why don't I just take it out? Okay. Good morning. Thank you to Mayor Bowser and Superintendent Kang for having me here today. My name is Tanjanika Fairley, and I am a proud parent of a 2-year-old son who attends Frederick Douglass and a 4-year-old daughter who attended a year ago. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C., and I'm currently a resident of Ward 8. For the past 2 years, I have served on the Personnel Committee of the Parent Policy Council, which has truly been a great learning experience. In this role, I have played a key part in decision-making and serving as the voice for all parents at the center. As a parent, it is important that my children, along with other children in the district, are exposed to high-quality learning environments and are prepared for preschool. In high-quality learning environments, teachers are able to detect disabilities in a child and provide proper resources to assist the child and family. I love and enjoy being a parent at Frederick Douglass. The center offers so many different training and job opportunities for parents. The teachers and staff personally support me and my goal as I pursue my Child Development Associate credential. Thank you. Because of the wonderful teachers and quality of learning here at Frederick Douglass, my daughter went into preschool top of her class, and I'm excited to see the same for my son. I'm so proud and honored to be a part of Frederick Douglass and Frederick Douglass family and the United Planning Organization. Now, and that the United Planning Organization is now a part of the Quality Improvement Network. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. So I will invite all of the team to the podium and see if there are any quick questions, and we'll take them. Yes, Aaron.
Mayor, can you discuss, or have some of your team discuss, how quickly these spots become available? How much, how will parents know that these spots exist, and
Sure.
And then how will parents know that these particular places or beyond where you start are implementing these new standards?
Sure. Let me ask Elizabeth to come back.
Yes. Great, excellent question. We are meeting on April 17th with all of the partners. Our hubs have already been out to all of the child care centers and have assessed the classrooms to see which ones. We have 18 months from the time this federal grant is initiated to reach the Early Head Start standards. So we've been doing some profiles and assessments, and we've identified about 50 classrooms across the 14 that will have slots available for families to enroll. Many of the children already enrolled in these centers are eligible for Early Head Start, so it'll be a matter of just bringing the resources right there to those children. So we'll be ramping up immediately in April with enrolling the families, and we anticipate, I think, by the end of May that all 400 children will be identified.
So additionally, and then I charge the whole team that I mentioned a little bit earlier with improving experiences for families. And that even starts with how the families become eligible and make sure that they're eligible and have all that they need to come to the child care centers. We have too many families that are spending too much time trying to get signed up on paperwork. And so I learned that this is not an overnight process to fix, but we have some really smart people looking at eligibility and how we can streamline eligibility for families. The last thing that we want is the commitment that this government has made to early childhood education and to have a family somewhere not taking advantage of it because it's too hard or they can't figure it out or we haven't made the experience better. So that's one side of it. The other side is what we're focused on right now is once we've made this investment, I want to be able to say, and everybody here wants to be able to say, that we're sending children to high quality environments, and when they're finished with that experience, they're going to be first in their. Well, everybody can't be first in their class, but that's a good thing to reach for being first in your class when you start school. What a tremendous and worthwhile. And we all know the most effective investment we can make in young people. Yes.
Just follow up on that, Mayor. Can you tell us a little bit about, what need does this fill? Are there certain gaps you see in the system right now? Is it a matter of there just being too much demand and not enough positions? What issues does this?
We're talking about quality today, so not just quantity. Although we know that we have some pinch points in our system where we need more seats for certain ages and certain places. What we're talking about right now is how we're getting the best out of the investments we're already making.
So if I'm a parent of a 2 or 3 year old child in the district, for example, what kinds of opportunities might I have thanks to this expansion that maybe I don't have right now?
Well, let me turn to Elizabeth and let her answer that question.
Yes, some of the opportunities you would have would be to be involved in decision making within the center. You would have access to resources to improve, again, your own education, maybe job seeking. The other things is that we'll be bringing services right there to the child care center. So if your child has a screening and there's a determination that there may be needs for early intervention, those resources will be there. There will be people in the organization providing coaching and support to the teachers in the classroom. So they'll actually learn. So we'll be building capacity of those teachers both for your child and for the children there, as well as children in the future. Parents will have access to education, opportunities. They come together monthly and learn on different topics related to child development. But then again, anything that a parent, in Head Start, we have family partnership agreements. So anything that a family feels that they need to work on and is important to their family's needs and growth, that's what the family service worker will support them in achieving. So it's very comprehensive.
Is this working towards any kind of citywide standard for early education for those 0 to 3-year-old programs? And what incentive would you have to be able to bring other people along?
Exactly. We definitely want to see this as something that we scale up over the next 5, 10, 15 years, where we would set that standard for all of our birth to 3 care in the district would reach early Head Start standards. The incentives are definitely around the way we pay providers and making sure that that money and the funding is there. Also attracting private and philanthropic dollars to help support providers in creating more comprehensive and nurturing and robust education for young children. So I think creating the continuity is really a benefit to providers, and I'm sure Bridget Hall can speak to that. When you have children and their family circumstances change and the child can no longer be in that setting, kids churning in and out really creates issues for the stabilization of a center and clearly for the education of that young child. So we do see this as a really important endeavor.
Sure. I'll take 2 questions here. Yes, ma'am. And then you, sir, you have one question.
So my question was, has law been introduced anywhere else? And if so, what were the outcomes of this particular model?
Yes, we are actually one of only 7 states in the nation that were awarded a state-level Early Head Start Child Care Partnership grant. So this was a new initiative through the Obama administration. There are a number of other states that are looking at the Quality Network Hub model, but we have been indicated as having one of the most innovative models. Our hope is that this really becomes this community-based, ground up, bottom down, really a collaborative effort to raise the level of quality. So we hope to see stronger outcomes for young children, but also for our providers. They need that support as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you said that Early Head Start is 50 years old this year.
Head Start.
Yes, sir. And the people who I work with are teenage mothers. And what I find with these mothers is a lack of educational achievement, for want of a better expression. How will this program make a difference as far as the outcome is concerned futuristically for the children?
I think that's exactly what Head Start. Head Start is 50 years old. I believe Early Head Start is 22 years old. And starting young and starting with mothers who have not completed their high school education, we know that's a critical factor in a child's long-term well-being. So again, this program will look at that and start where the family is. And if the mother wants to continue her education, the resources will be there to support that.
But I think what we are also learning, even as I'm sitting down with all of the agency directors, about all the possible synergies. We are funding a program over here at the Department of Health. We have this program here at the Department of Employee Services. We have another program here at OSSI. And guess what? They're talking to the same family. And so every opportunity that we have to come up with a vehicle, in this case a hub, that can act as a point of synergy for these various programs and services, it's very helpful. I know we have at least one of our providers who provides the services, has adult learning in the evening, and so we can layer the investments that we have for the family. So you raise an excellent point that we have to educate the little ones, but the parents have to be able to back up what the kids are learning during the day as well. But even more than that, the parents have to have access to greater opportunities, and that's what we're also focused on. Let me see if the council member would like to say anything in closing.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. I'm really thrilled with what's being put out and the way that is very strategic, the way in which the investment is being made. This is over the next several years. You've heard the mayor and her great team really talk about the plan around quality. Every single one of our providers aims for every single day having really high quality. What this is going to help do is help give them support help stabilize them, help make sure that they can achieve that. And we're going to see the difference. I know it. As we watch these children grow and really thrive and really be successful when they enter the classroom. So I'm really excited about this. It's a lot more than just about one book or about one home visit or about one visit into any services. This is a really strategic initiative that helps bring all those pieces together. So with your great team, Madam Mayor, I'm really excited to support that and be here today to help support.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. And I think I'm going to get a chance to look around for a second. Okay, perfect. Sure.